I think we are live. Good evening. Welcome to the Spiritual Speakeasy, where the bar is always open and the spirits are always served. Tonight's drink is cheap Chardonnay. Cheap Chardonnay. I don't know what he's drinking.
Neither do I.
That's the mystery drink. Go ahead and type in 1 if we're on, because for some reason I cannot tell if we are actually live or not. Normally I have to unmute and do some stuff. So for the viewers that are on, go ahead and type in a 1 if you can hear us okay. Tonight we are going to talk about some interesting things. It's Chris and Julie from Raven's Eye Paranormal. And we thought we would talk about energy and whether it's residual or if it's intelligent and what traps and things that build up energy and that sort of thing. So if you have any comments or questions or experiences, feel free to type them on. I've got the screen on. I'm putting my glasses on so I can read the screen. And I'm pulling out my outline because, you know, I'm old and I can't remember shit. But it's my outline, so I can do that. And my podcast. There you go. So, places that hold history and things that kind of echo through it, trauma, things like that. I'm going to move this down a little bit. There you go. We don't smell too bad. What's your favorite place that's held energy?
Ooh, I think Gettysburg.
I didn't even think of that. Yeah, Gettysburg.
Yeah, that was pretty intense.
The battlefields, I think what made it even more intense for me was the fog. You know, like we had mist, we had rain coming down from the hurricane that had come through the south, and it was coming upward, and it was boggy and the fields were mushy. And I think that altogether added to the whole energy thing because water's a conduit and we were definitely bogging.
And well, there's a lot of stone in that area.
A lot of stone in that area. Yeah. Gettysburg. I worked at Fulton State Hospital for a long time. It's a forensic psychiatric hospital. And so it has intermediate. At one time it was geriatric. What's before intermediate? I'm so tired. Lower level risk, like no fencing risk, and then intermediate, and then maximum security. And so that place held a lot of energy, and we would have to, I worked evening shift and night shift, and then I also managed it, so I worked day shift. And we would have to take the laundry down to the tunnels, which were drilled out in limestone. And Fulton, Missouri is a very small community. And so the courthouse and the police station were linked to the state hospital by tunnels so they could bring the crazy forensic people through the tunnels and not be a security risk. And they still had the bolts and the chains on the walls. So to me, when we had to go down, and it flooded all the time, so you'd be like bogging, you'd have to roll up your pants and take off your shoes part of the time, and you were going down in a couple inches of water. And we would have to take the laundry down there at the end of the evening and drop it in the chute and the trash and in the incinerator that was down there. And you could hear the echoes. I don't know whether anybody else talked about that. Like I never exposed the fact that they knew I was weird, but they didn't know I was a psychic. So I didn't go say, hey, I'm hearing voices in the tunnel, because that would have been like a 96-hour commitment. Mm-hmm. And that place held a lot of energy. What else have we been to? Residual houses that have a lot of antiques, antique stores. Yeah. Those kind of places have a lot of residual.
Yeah, a lot of those private investigations where you're going into a house for a specific reason.
Right. And all those people have trauma. Every one of them has a level of trauma that I think holds on to. You know, the trauma goes into things. So, you know, a lot of people believe that poltergeists are traumatic energy that has no outlet. So you kind of put the energy out there. You manifest it, and it slams doors open and closed and throws things. So when you go to houses that have trauma, you get into a lot of that. Hi, Nancy. Thanks for joining us. You know, you get into a lot of the personal trauma. And so many of the cases that we've gone into have had physical and sexual abuse on top of it, deep within the family unit. So it's not just a current event thing. It's a past, and it's past trauma, and it's past households and things like that. I'm trying to think of what else. Paranormal Task Force this weekend. I got to go to an aviation museum, and I've never seen little big planes like there were old planes before, and they were kind of like really paper mache. Like I thought they were metal. I had no idea, and I'm touching these, and I'm like going, guys, how come these things are like paper mache? These aren't real. And they're like, oh no, these were the real planes. And I'm like, they're paper. That was kind of weird, but some of the planes had some real energy. We were up in the tower. I didn't like the tower. The tower had a lot of energy, a lot of my chest was really heavy, and my heart was beating really fast, and the anxiety. I think I was tapping into the residual anxiety because they didn't have like all the computer shit that they have now, the monitors, to be able to, you know, watch the planes go. They had windows all around, and they got people calling out plane, and then all of a sudden the broadcaster comes on because there's an airport, military airport that's right next to us, and scared the shit out of me. But that was the only time I got scared. Oh, I missed a bottom stair too, and I got scared. But that's because I almost fell flat. But there was a lot of energy there, a lot of residual chatter in the ballroom there. I could hear music being played, and no one else heard the music. And I kept saying, nobody's hearing that dance music? Like I can hear I want to dance. Like I can feel the energy. It was pretty cool. So, but tonight, let's see, no stress there. No, but the bottom step was like the worst thing that happened, and climbing stairs. And then we found out there was an elevator. So if you go there, it's climate controlled. It's Kansas Aviation Museum. It's severely climate controlled. So bring hoodies and a jacket in the summertime, because I'm not used to that. I'm used to 110 sweaty pits.
Or it's freezing.
You know, because there's no heat. But this was freezing because there was actually air conditioning. It was very nice. They have flushable toilets, and they have snack machines, and they've got stuff that you can, like, you know, it's a very humane experience. You don't feel like you're tapping into something that, on top of being exhausted and sweaty. It's very neat. Things that hold energy. The stone tape theory is what it's actually called. I got it on my notes. Let's see. Chat GPT is my friend. KD will tell you that Chat GPT is his friend too. There's no playlist for tonight though, because I couldn't bypass copyrights. Environment. So we just did a place here in Jefferson City. Flushable toilets. Hey, it's a thing. When you go to Missouri State Pen, they have outhouses. A lot of places have outhouses. And it sucks when you've got 100 people coming through and there's 4 outhouses and you're there till 3:00 in the morning and everybody's waiting in line for the outhouse on break. So, you know, like you can't like fart or make any noises. It's kind of scary. And I throw up in outhouses. He'll tell you I throw up in outhouses. So you'll hear me gagging while I'm in there trying to pee. It's not funny.
Yeah, I usually try to go in and cover things up.
He has to cover stuff with paper towels.
She's bougie. She's a bougie hunter.
I can't smell things, and I can't look at things. It's bad. And I'm a nurse. It is a thing. And I'm a nurse, and I made it this far, but I threw up in trash cans and bathrooms in the hospital. So things that hold energy. Things that hold energy. Let's talk about that. We recently went to a place in Jefferson City that was having problems with headaches, and I can't disclose the location. It's still an active place. When flies hit your eye, yeah, yeah.
She's gagging. You paid it, no?
No. Swallow.
Here, have a little drink. Have a little drink. Oh boy.
Woo, face got red. Flies and poo. Limestone is big in Jeff City. Like we have a lot of limestone stuff, and limestone definitely holds energy. And if you're using energy boosters of any kind, a lot of the holistic places have things to heal. They have equipment, and they don't think about the limestone and then the EMFs on top of that. which is a whole nother thing that I didn't even think about bringing into this is EMFs.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll let you talk about EMFs.
Yeah. Well, just about everything will hold energy, really. I mean, and you've seen it when you do these things and you put your EMF reader out and you put it on stuff, even wood that you put in, there's energy that's into it. It's almost like whatever was in that room. It's almost like, what's the word you guys use? Intention.
Yeah.
Very intention based. So whatever is going on at that time, you're projecting that out and things pick that up depending on the severity or what's going on at the time. Sometimes it resonates more than others. Some things pick up a little more than other things.
Minnesota too. Nancy says Minnesota too. Limestone all over with the caves. See, we've got a lot of cave systems in Missouri too. But EMFs that seems to be a trigger for a lot of places and a lot of residential too. We go to a lot of places that will have their phone cords, their chargers, electrical chargers and outlets. And, like most modern families, they're running extension cords and they've got 4 plugs going into that thing. And there's no grounding except for the house grounding, which isn't really grounding. And then you go into the HVAC system or the hot water system, and it's, the millimeters reading. I don't know how far the millimeter goes, but it goes all the way to the far end of it. And you're sitting there going, well, it's no wonder you've got, psychosis and you're seeing things and you're like, because you have to debunk things like that. I can't tell you unless something speaks to me that it's an actual entity. I mean, if it comes up and says, hey, and sticks its foot in my face, I know what it is. But otherwise, I'm just kind of going. Yeah.
I mean, you can go in and do some base readings and try to go off of that. But sometimes then you got to question what you're picking up.
Right. I used to make fun of, who was it that I made fun of?
I don't know.
Not Ghost Adventures, the ones that was always copper pipes.
Oh, yeah. Ghost Hunters.
Okay. Like the one guy was a plumber.
Yeah.
And he would say copper pipes. And I used to sit here before we did this kind of stuff and I would laugh. Hard because it's like, there he goes. It's going to, you just heard somebody say, fuck you, but it was a copper pipe. And now, we're checking around and we're looking at the pipes and we're looking at the wiring because people want that stuff debunked. And I can't honestly say that the way you're feeling. And then drugs, if you're on drugs and drugs include medications like legal prescriptions, there are some that will help you hallucinate or they open doors and your veil is down, they open you up more. So with drug use in the house or even alcohol use in the house, people are going to be more in tune. And I don't know whether they're opening themselves up to things that are marginal or if it's the EMFs are so high, because you tend to get a hodgepodge of everything, especially in the older historical non-taken care of residential places that are like falling in and you can see through the woodwork and Mirapex. Yeah. Any of those drugs. Yeah. Will cause that opening. And there's so many people on, I just drew a blank on what the medicine I was going to say. It starts with an L, the name brand I'm going L. That's backwards. L. What is that drug that they give everybody? It's for pain syndromes. I'm drawing a blank. Shoot. But it's a synthetic narcotic. And people take that and they take it for inflammatory disorders and for fibromyalgia. It's really heavily prescribed for fibromyalgia. And that shit will mess you up. You take that and then you've got high EMFs. And between the two things, things are talking to you. And maybe they are. And maybe it's just the combination. Crazy dreams and plots and surprise endings. Yeah. In a lot of medicine, it's not just that. There's a lot of them that do that. So you have to kind of decide, like when you're working these cases, is it the person? Is it the medications? Is it
something in the place?
Is it something in the place? Do they have a shit ton of antiques? Are they familial antiques? Or did they go to an antique store and buy that shit? Because if they bought that shit and they didn't clean that shit, then you're you got a lot of shit.
That's some shit.
That's some shit right there. It's my podcast. I can cuss. Greg isn't on to do a fuck count tonight. Greg always does a fuck count. Hospitals and asylums. It's funny, personal case, and I've not talked about this one. I worked night shift for a period of time at a 30-day rehab facility. It wasn't drug and alcohol. It was like your Medicare, Medicaid 30-day. So if you'd had knee surgery or back surgery, or, you coming out of COVID or something like that, and you needed 30 days to regain your strength to go home, that's where you came. And every night between 3 and 4 in the morning, you would hear a cart going down the hall. And I had a lot of Jamaican aides, and they wouldn't work my hall, or they would work my hall and they would take their break during that time. And I'm sitting there one night, and I'm like going in, and I hear this cart, and I can hear the squeaky wheels going down the hall. And I see this guy that's in a dress suit, and he's in a black dress suit, and he's got a hat, and he goes into the room, and then he comes out, and he's sobbing, and he sits down on the bench, and he's just as real as can be. Like, I see him, and I go running down the hall because nobody's been in, and I've checked my rooms and there's nobody in there. And I'm thinking, how the hell did somebody unlock the back door? And yet his period clothing was not current. And I'm like, sir, like, can I? And then he just kind of went poof. And then I'm like, and then I had a Jamaican aide take me aside, and she's like, no, we don't talk to them. We don't talk. He's there every night. So I think it had been a nunnery, and it had been the nuns had taken care of very sick people in that wing. And I think that he was very residual. He had been there probably every night taking care of somebody in his family or visiting somebody. And they must, obviously everybody had passed, but his energy continued to circulate. So I would always know when it was 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, and I had to start thinking about changing beds and turning people, because the cart would come down the thing, and he would be right there. And every night that I worked there, it was really nice to get to see him. I never missed a night. Like when I was there, he was there every night. It was kind of cool. I like that.
Yeah.
But stone and wood, we went to this one place. They had brand new beds right out of the crate for people to stay in an energy center. And their metal was iron? Steel frames, like metal frame beds. And every one of those posts was off the scale. Yeah. Crazy. Yep. Like, so you're in a healing center, but you've got that many EMFs attached to the beds that people are going to be sleeping on or laying on to heal, which for me is kind of frightening. Prisons.
Yeah. Well, those, once again, they're around here, and most of them that I know of are made of limestone. It's easy to work. So that's what they use. And it's full of metal, full of iron, metal. A lot of them are near water. Yeah. I mean, because they could transport or trains, train stations. And again, you've got your tracks and your things like that. And what are the gates? I mean, they're steel or iron doors. And once again, you're getting into the projection of energy and then those enclosed environments over a long period of time, that's a lot of energy being pumped out into that area. Yeah, it is. And then the angry energy, like think about the people, like you go into death row, because that's where we all want to go, right? You go to the hole, you go to death row, you go to the mental ward, because that's where the craziest energy, everybody assumes that's where the craziest energy is. To be quite honest, there's a lot of medicated energy there. When you go to the regular housing units, especially the newbies that come in, those housing units are probably going to be the most active. Having worked in a prison, your ones where people are there 90 days or less and they don't have anything to lose because they know they're going to be transferred. They sleep all day and they bang all night. They rap, they bang, they hit the bars. So there's a lot of resonance, and that's not anything new. So I'm sure that went on. Way back in the day. We've got the older the more we have Missouri State Pen, and Missouri State Pen is the bloodiest 40 some acres in America. And there was a lot of stuff. Riots went on, and tunnel digging and deaths, a lot of deaths, a lot of boot stomps. That's a lot of energy pumping out.
So, and again, what's the difference between residual and interactive and intelligent? I would assume if you're on this podcast, you understand the difference between those because you're on a paranormal metaphysical podcast. But, residual is that which is left over. It's on a repeat track.
Over and over. It's like
over.
a tape being played over, same time, same place, over and over repetitively.
Mm-hmm. And interactive or intelligent is that which answers. Last night wasn't last night. The night before last, Friday night. And we've got, footage that will eventually get out. But at PTF, we had a dead bell, and we were talking to a gentleman in the aviation center he was really excited. I think he was excited. He used the dead bell a whole lot.
There was that was intelligent.
He would not answer
sure.
no. He would not answer no. We never got 2 dings, but we got a lot of 1 dings, 1 for yes, 2 for no. He just didn't waste his time and his energy on the 2, or he would just be silent. But there was a whole lot. We found out that he was a pilot. He worked on the line. So I think he probably built and flew, like tested. He did not answer whether he was male or female. We asked if he knew names, and some of the names he did. There was no answer, but then some of the names, there was a real quick one hit, which was interesting. People had seen certain people there that they could identify. And he was able to know those people. And then we walked away, and we were in the command center, so to speak. And we were doing lives still, and we were trying to get our camera switched over to go to break. And when we came back, he was like hitting the dead bell. He wanted us to come back and talk, and we had other things to do. But we did go back and finally, say goodbye to him and stuff, because that's the proper thing to do. But he wouldn't engage in the countdown, and there were certain things he wouldn't engage in, but it was kind of interesting. But it was very intelligent hits, like, you want us to leave, and there was nothing, and it's like, then we're going to stay. And then he would hit it real quick and say ding, so like, no, we want you to stay. He wanted to communicate. It was kind of interesting. Private homes and hotels. Gosh, what do you want to say about that?
Yeah.
Active and residual both.
Yeah. What was the White House?
White House Inn. Yeah, White House Inn in Herman. They don't like to be billed as a paranormal, but there was a lot of residual.
Well, I mean, yeah, it's built over a well. It's got a well in the basement of this place.
And a speakeasy.
And was a speakeasy right there. And it was built out of limestone.
Yep.
The whole they stored all of their beer down in there. It was just like a beer cave where they had the cave type setup.
Yeah, it was really neat.
So you had your water, you had your limestone.
Yep.
The building was brick.
And it's by the Missouri, right off the railroad tracks and the Missouri River. So, I mean, like, really, like a car's width, maybe 2 cars width, and a little gravel like to the river. And that's it. That was an interesting place. That was the place where we heard coughing, and there was a brothel. They won't confirm that, but there was a brothel. I mean, everybody knows there was a brothel, but the people that worked there didn't want to confirm there was a brothel. They had a Nazi dude that, I don't know whether he was a spy or not. There was a lot of claims. They had a postmaster there. There was a lot of interesting things. And they had a doctor that lived there to take care of the guests and women. And I kept saying, I wonder, like, because he had a balcony, but it was on the street edge, which I don't know whether that would have been a street edge in that historic times. I think it would have been, but the primary entrance was from the riverside and the railroad tracks.
Yeah, because that was built in like the 1838 era, and the steamboats would come in before the railroad. So the steamboats would come in and stop and let people out if they wanted.
Military. It was a military stop too.
Yeah,
it was a military stop.
Yeah.
And I kept saying, well, what's the doctor doing with the women? I mean, if you've ever investigated a brothel or you know anything about the brothels, you know what that entails if there's a doctor on site. And I had questions, and I kept trying to provoke and antagonize the doctor without being too provoking and antagonizing. And we finally went to bed at 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, 4 o'clock. And I fell asleep with the laptop with the iPad in my lap and the cameras going. We had set up some cameras, and it was like 5 o'clock in the morning, and one of the blink cameras came on, and it was just as clear as could be. We had this vocal of this woman, and she goes, "They put the bodies in the river," and that's, so they were dumping the female and the baby bodies in the river. So I'm very, very clear cut, intelligent response, because I've been asking stuff all night and didn't get any response on the audio, but they waited until we were asleep, and probably the doctor was asleep and the normal patterns, and then they came out. That was kind of interesting. Nancy says she has a residual that wanders through her backyard through the fence. Do you have I know you're mowing. She says she's mowing the yard. Do you have like a cemetery or some kind of land that's got
some history,
Native American or railroad or something like that?
I think maybe she lives in an older house. It's
could be
somebody attached to it.
Yeah, or a portal that things are walking through. Kind of interesting. I like that, and I like residual too, because residuals are one of those kind of things that you can count on it. Like if somebody says at 4 o'clock every morning there's train lights that come through, you can set up your cameras. It is Native American. Yeah, well, there you go. Do you have elementals? I'm curious to see. Do you have elementals or any other protectors on the land that you see? I love me some elementals. I will work with those. I like them. A lot of people don't want to work with them. We see a lot of people that don't want to work with elementals or dark things. I like both. Way too many portals. Okay. Yeah, I do too, Nancy. I like, and he's used to working with me with that. Like, I think we've kind of, we do the dark. It comes with the light. I have a hard time understanding people, and I'm not dogging anybody who's watching this that's all light and love. But if you admit that there's light and love, then there has to be a yin and a yang. There has to be the parallel. And to say it doesn't exist, or I'm not gonna,
Yeah.
What? Tell me the story. Crazy that you asked that about elementals. I love them. They will manipulate humans so big time. I love it. Like, they just will get what they want. They'll get iron, and they get food, and they get energy. We've seen that in a lot of cases too, where they get people, they'll work the people that live on the land. Like, bring me this, bring me that.
Yeah. A lot of times you'll see those trinkets too as offerings. So you go in a place and you'll see stuff hanging in trees. You'll see stuff on the ground, and they're all little trinkets or offerings. So that whole area has probably got something like that in it. Elemental, or what's some of the other things
well, I consider like elementals to be like gnomes and fairies and Sasquatches. And now some people will say that Sasquatches are not, that they're like ancient human beings. I particularly think that they're an elemental. I think they're of the earth. They've probably been here.
Use portals to
get they come and go because they disappear. People will have them running, and all of a sudden they just kind of go and they're gone. That to me would be an elemental.
Yeah, I mean, our Bigfoot hunter friends could tell you all about that.
Yeah,
I mean, that's
not Frog Hollow. Frog. What's the show? Something Frog.
Oh yeah. What is
and
that?
Then there's another one on TV. The Area 51 Skinwalker Ranch.
Yeah,
Skinwalker Ranch. I think Skinwalkers are elementals. I think, or they're brought on by the Native Americans. I think they're protectors. You were told
Skinwalkers, and
you told the Native American medicine man not to fear the things that are on my property. He said, I know you see them. He said, they're there to help, not hurt. Yeah.
Well, maybe there's a reason why.
Yeah, they're protecting. They're protecting the land. Yeah, and if you're not doing anything to the land, then you have nothing to fear. We have fairies that have popped up on our cameras, and people have tried to say they're cat hair. It's fluff. It's a bug. Well, bugs don't like come clear up and you can see their face to a blink camera and hover there, and then they go off, and then they dart, and all of a sudden, boom, and they're gone. So Just don't invite fairies into your house. Okay? Don't invite anything like that into your house. It can all stay out on the land where it needs to be, but
Yeah.
fires will occur and things will get lost and or stolen or moved. Yeah, I invite a lot of things into my house, but elementals don't come in. Well, I mean, I can't say that because the ant came in, but I did not invite him in. He came in on his own. I didn't do anything.
He wanted a snack.
He just showed up. I don't know. But I love fairies, but I don't invite them in because shiny things come up missing and fires start. Been my experience.
Yeah,
He's just like, I don't know. I just do what she says. Trying to follow an outline. I'm not used to outlines. Psychic impressions versus technical evidence.
I think those can go hand in hand, really.
I like it when we do both.
We do that a lot.
Mm-hmm.
You do your thing. I'll be running some equipment to see if we can corroborate what you're seeing.
Yeah.
That's how you do it. You set up your stuff.
I think that's important. I think it's important to do both. I think because a lot of people will say, well, I go in and, I'll do my psychic or my metaphysical reading and they're comfortable doing that. But to me, the non-believers want proof. Sorry, our dogs are like barking at squirrels out back. I think they want proof. And to me, if you've got scientific stuff, evidence to back what I'm doing, like the times that I've sat under mirrors and I've said, oh my God, they're coming all around me. And you've got
that got the SLS and
you can see things gathering around, then now you've got me saying blindfolded and sensory depth with headphones. I'm telling you, I'm seeing these things and I'm touching them. Or the one time we were in the prison, was it the prison? No. Somehow, some historical place we were in. And I bent down and I said, there's this dead kid or this thing that's at my feet. There's something nasty at my feet. And I reached down and I think it was Bella said, there's something at her feet. I'm seeing it. And with the whole thing, funny, do not say squirrel to my dog. Yeah, no, they're bad. And the one that's barking is a German Shepherd. So like she's given the call out to all the other pets that are barking. It's like
a neighborhood thing.
Yeah. It's like the Pet something movie. That one movie where the Secret Life of Pets. Yeah. I really haven't had that much wine. I'm just really tired. Not a lot of sleep. But yeah. So you have, I like it when we can get both. Or if I say something's touching my shoulder and he's running a thermal and you can see the temperature drop. To me, that's now you've got verification that I'm not just coming into your house making shit up. Oh, look, she's got a German Shepherd too. Yay. They're hyper and neurotic. But yeah, I think it's important to do both. I think and I love it. Like KD Stafford with Supernatural Inc. has a great reverse play box. And like Friday night, we had a couple times that we couldn't get it to come out on the communication device to show what it said. But I think 3 or 4 times it came out baby girl or girl. And we all heard it because it said it and it was like doing its reverse play sweep. And a reverse play is kind of like when you play your record backwards and you hear that hidden message. What's coming in, it flips. And so it's not there's no way it's a coincidence when you get a whole statement. Like we were at some lady's house and, we use any method necessary to remove negative energy. Like I'm not above using prayers and God and Jesus and all that stuff. And I said, I command you in the name of Jesus Christ. And the reverse play box came, Jesus Christ is a fucking liar. Like, how do you get that backwards? You can't, there's no radio station sweeping that's going to say something like that backwards. So it's an amazing device for paranormal investigations. I had an MCOM run in Friday night and I said, can you tell me your name? I think it was a prop, like the thing that makes the propeller thing go around. It was like a big engine type of thing that was, I don't know, it was huge, took up part of a ram. Yeah. And I'm going, did you work on this? Did you have this? what's your name? And it said, I thought it said Aaron, and it was on his Katie Stafford's MCOM. And I said, Aaron? And it said, Emily. And it was like kind of pissed. Like you could tell it was like, you didn't hear me the first time, like, listen.
Yeah.
And it wasn't Emily, it was Emily.
Finally got a little energy to project
Pump that out there. So, and then we asked the guy upstairs with the dead bell, do you know Emily? And it was ding. And I said, are you sure you know Emily, or something like that? And it dung again, like it dinged. It was excited. So Emily, you know, like clearly those spirits hang out together. And yeah, coworkers or flight thing. They had a wing walker that died, and she frequently comes by the place during investigation.
Yeah, I would say there's a lot of things attached to objects, especially being in the museum on top of.
And it was an Air Force base. It was a flying instructor place, flight instructor, and I think it was an active flight center as well. So, but the wing walker, the women that did stunts, she I guess went off the wing and plummeted and splattered on the premises, on the concrete. And so we had a lot of things like flat and well, where are you now? In the concrete, which was kind of a weird response. It's like, because we were at the flight tower in the concrete. Well, and we're going in the concrete with somebody buried, and then somebody goes, no, there was she dropped in the concrete. So assume so that's very intelligent response.
Exactly.
You know, that was not like old. She's there. I mean, that probably was her life. She probably had a lot of fun and a lot of adrenaline and a lot of energy doing those kind of things. What else? What other places? Other experiences with residual and music? We had music in a cemetery once.
Yeah.
I'm going to refill my bar drink.
Yeah.
Sorry. It's refill time.
Yeah. Well, you know, I had one experience before I even started getting into doing this with you when I was working as a chimney sweep. I used to be a chimney sweep, and I did a lot of historical work. So on that side of it, we did the construction. I did some maintenance or some masonry work, did some reconstruction. They would give us pictures, and we would have to set it up, and we'd have to reconstruct the chimneys and fireplaces the way they were when they were originally made, because it was a historical preservation sort of thing.
Concrete and brick.
That's right. So we were at a place up in near Moberly, and I can remember it was an old mansion, you know, Civil War era, pre-Civil War era. And we had been doing construction work on it, and it was just a really cool little place. And so I was inside doing some work, getting things set up, and then we proceeded to finish doing what I was doing, and then got it all done, and I was kind of cleaning up, and then, you know, the owner had left earlier to go to the grocery store, and then I was cleaning up. I heard the owner come in and say, how's it going? I'm like, good. I'm just trying to finish up in here, and I'll be out of your way. So I was getting things done, and I was packing up. The owner showed up and came in, and I was like, weren't you just coming in the door? And he says, oh no, I just got here. So I was like, wow, and I didn't really turn around to look to see, but I could see with my peripheral, just somebody walked in the door and then walked down the hall, just like a regular person does. And I said, well, I thought you just came in. He goes, oh no, this place is haunted.
And you're like, nice.
I'm like, oh, wow. And he says, yeah, we got a lot of stuff, like stuff will disappear and then reappear in a weird place. He said one time, you know, like bread packages would go flying across the room and stuff like that going on. So that was kind of interesting. That was an experience. And I was like, it's kind of one of those things. If I had turned around, I wonder what I would have seen, but I was focusing on the job, saw that in my peripheral.
Well, how many times have we done that here at the house, though?
Yeah.
You know, like he'll say, I thought you just went down the hall.
Mhm.
Like today, like there's been 4 times I've turned around and seen him come into the room that I was in, but he was not off the couch that we're sitting on.
Yeah. So I
mean,
I don't know if that was residual, if that's something that happens all the time, or if it's something that was intelligent. I would say intelligent because it responded,
Nancy says, "Oh, I love the chimney sweep experience. I am the first woman to work on the upper Mississippi. No lie, cleaned barges."
Oh,
Oh, how cool.
Uh-huh.
How cool.
Yeah.
I have to give a shout out because it's just my policy. Doggone bees, apiary and meadery. Mead with cinnamon. Sweet. It's semi-sweet. Gettysburg. It was a bees and plants and
neat little
mead.
place.
Got great Viking sweats that say drink drink like a Viking, drink mead. Anyway, that's my second drink tonight. That was not as cheap as my cheap wine. I just thought I'd give them a shout out. Into shapewear jackets, into Heretic Perfume, who still hasn't taken me on, but we're working on it, Heretic. So there's a shout out to those people who have not sponsored me yet, but we're working on it.
So, what's another experience that you can think of? I think Brenda's house was a pretty good experience.
So yeah, there was a lady who Chris's parents had referred us to, and she had a video of
she couldn't sleep.
She couldn't sleep. Things, and her grandkids wouldn't stay downstairs anymore. Like I think she was kind of babysitting her grandkids, and they always slept downstairs. And they said there was a monster, and these kids were, I don't remember, 5 to 10 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And this is when we were first starting out.
Mm-hmm.
Like we had literally an Olympic recorder.
We didn't have
and a camera.
Yeah, a camera. What else we had? We had a couple of motion sensor lights.
Yep.
With a
Walmart kids spy kit.
It's like a spy kit thing, you go and buy a little thing, put some batteries in it, set it there like a little.
Which you can buy at Five Below now for $5, and they're really good motion sensors. They do work. And we went down there, and of course, our only influence was like ghost hunters and ghost adventurers.
Yeah, there wasn't much out there.
It was like the Wild West, and we had no idea that provoking was probably a really bad thing. And she had a portal in her front yard. Was a cemetery.
Yeah, it was across the road.
Was
it was
cemetery.
In the basement, I think. Wasn't it in the basement? So, to go back, it was like, kind of backtracking a little bit. That's where she was having trouble sleeping. The grandkids were having troubles going down in the basement.
And she set up a VHS tape recorder on a stand, and you can see something coming up the side. I should come over here to the camera, coming up the side of her bed and going across her mattress, and you can hear her snoring. So you can hear her breathing and snoring, and it goes up, and it's like a snake. And it moves across her bed, and then her bedspread shifts, and then it drops.
Well, I mean, the first thing that happened was the pillow was shaking. Yeah. And it kept waking her up because the pillow would start going like, shaking.
But she wasn't doing anything. There was no body movement.
She was sleeping. And then you see the corner of the sheet raise up and hold up in the air. And then you see something, it looked like, I would say, a snake or for example, a tube of air being pushed across their body onto the other side, like a snake slithering across. The sheet flipped up on this side, and she kind of woke up a little bit and straightened herself up.
Yeah, it wasn't like a full wake up. It was just like, okay, something kind of stirred me, so I'm going to turn over to the other side. So she said the basement and the shower, the bathroom, the kids wouldn't use the bathroom. So I go in there, and we've got our little recorder, just a recorder, which is still, to me, one of the greatest EVP things that you can capture. Because if you've got sound equipment and you can run it through, you can isolate the sound. We didn't have any of that at this time. And I'm in there, and I'm in the shower, and I'm in total darkness, and I think I'm a real badass. And I'm like going, come at me, you motherfucker. If you're going to do this, you're going to. And we get home, and we're like, I've got headphones on, and I'm listening to it. And I'm listening to me provoke this thing, and it growls really, really loud. And it says, get the fuck out of here. And I'm like, oh, it was actually there and went there with me. And I had no idea it was in there with me.
The other weird thing, too, was all night. See, and I would run a stereo XY condenser mic, like a Zoom, a little tiny Zoom.
It was,
and I would plug my headphones into it when I would go, and I would just go around as I was recording and use that thing, that condenser mic. I could hear a little mosquito buzzing over in the corner. So all night I kept hearing music. It was so low that I couldn't really tell what it was all night. I'd be like, where's that music coming from? And I would look around and see if there was radios, and I'd go outside to see if there was anybody running radios or anything, and it was quiet. But I kept hearing that all night and didn't really pay attention until we reviewed back, and you kind of bring it up, and it was ragtime piano music.
Which is, so if you're going to run recordings and you're going to do things, my suggestion, just, you know, like we run body cams now, and no, I do not run them from start to finish. I really probably should, but when you stop and think about it, if you have an 8-hour investigation and you're running that bitch, that's 16 hours of looking through it, because you slow it down and you watch it. But we had everything packed up and ready to go, and we had no recorders on. We had nothing on recording. Shut everything up, and we're walking out the door, and you hear like 3 or 4 piano notes in progression. And I stopped, and I stopped, and I'm like, fuck. And I looked at her and I said, I didn't see a piano while you were here. And Chris was like, there was no piano here. And she goes, I don't have a piano. We failed to get that on tape because everything was packed up and going. And then
everybody heard it.
But all 3 of us heard it. And then we were at another place. It was a roadside place that had been abandoned. And that was the one where somebody, like the sheriff's department, stopped us.
Oh yeah, that was where was that?
Right off, little town, right offside the road, like it's right
Prairie
there.
Home.
And it was all grown up, like there was, you know,
it was just a old family farmhouse, is what it was.
And they walked away and left like everything. And there's a player piano. There was a piano, and I'm intrigued by pianos, but it was old piano, and I loved that piano. Oh my God, I like wanted to bring that piano home. Probably something attached to it. Now knowing me, because again, we were starting out and I didn't know what I was attracted to, which is dead things and bad things. But there was something in that piano. But we started pulling up, and we were probably what I would call a half a city block from that place. And I remember telling Chris, I'm really nauseated. Like, and he's like, do you want to turn around and not go? And I'm like, no, we're going to go. So we're going to go. And got in that place and was just like, whoa, it hit, like the energy was so dark and was so, I would have called it, now I would say it was elemental or almost demonic. There was something in there that was attached that was dark.
It was one of those places that you could tell nobody been in it for a long time. It was just
no squatters either.
No,
like the
it was
windows
just locked
were
up. Everything was pristine as far as being closed up.
Yeah.
There was nothing. I mean, an animal, I would suppose, could get.
There were dead birds, and like there were droppings because the ceiling was. Yeah. But there was no human.
Nothing.
There was checkbooks, and there were clothing. Things were left in that.
Somebody
house.
Had got up and just left everything there.
But, yes, I would love your player piano, Nancy. She's like, would you? That was I learned to play the piano on a player piano. And it was downstairs in the house that I'm living in currently. And I hated that bitch. My mom and dad bought it for me to learn to play, and part of the keys stuck. And I was trained in classical. And I was trained to be a classical musician. And I got up to the age of 18. Well, actually, probably it was more like 16 or 17, because my dad passed when I was 15. And I said, fuck you, fuck it. I quit playing. And I really haven't played since. I've tried twice to go back to it, and it's no good. And so I just don't. But that piano, like this chick came and she bought it, and my mom sold it for $100. It was beautiful, upright black. It was painted black. It was the most gorgeous piano. And this chick who was like, she was so cool. And it was like 1978, 1979. No, it was probably 77, because I got a regular piano, and I still have that, but I don't like it. It wasn't the same. And this chick came in, and she was dressed like Stevie Nicks, and she was so cool. And she sat down and she started playing Honky Tonk on it. And I was just like, oh, see, that's what I wanted to do. I loved it. Oh my God. It was great. I digress there. but we got ready to leave the place and we had to climb through the brush that we came in through to shut and lock the front door. And we had again shut all of our recordings off. And remember that red thing of light that came? It was like a fucking red ball of light just came straight at us. And had we have been
it was like a flash, and I was like, what was that?
It was huge, and I felt like shit. And again, weird. nothing on camera.
No, naturally.
Body cams are so nice. Like, I love the whole phenomena of body cams. Except for don't clip them to your bra because they'll fall down. And don't put them on your head because you get ceiling shots and floor shots. Find someplace to put them in. And turn them off to go to the bathroom. I learned that. I did learn that. My grandson and I went on the thing and he forgot to turn his off. I have not watched that footage yet, but it will be edited. I don't know how to do that yet, but we'll have to figure that out. Yeah. Body cams should come with warnings. Turn them off when you go to the bathroom.
And the ones that you have are really, they're pretty tiny. I mean,
they're real small, and like you can clip them to things, and they're real nice because you can forget that they're on. And you can edit them out if you know what you're doing. You can edit them later and take out the conversations that you really don't want to go out to the public. But they're nice because they do capture things like orbs or I was doing a bathtub isolation situation.
Yeah.
And our camera kept being turned off. Like it was turned off and it was on. There was two people. Chris set it up, turned it on,
and it was recording.
And then the people who were sponsoring the event verified that it was on. It's recording, so you assume it's on, but then it shut off. And I had my body cam, and you could see me working the equipment. You could see my dowsing rods and various things like that, and you could see the orbs go by, and you could see different things that. So, and you're still picking up sound, which is really nice to have that as you're walking through, because we don't nobody carries tape recorders. If they do, they're doing burst sessions, real quick 30-second burst sessions, because nobody wants to review 10 hours of audio. Yeah. 10 hours of audio is 20 to 24 hours of work because you're slowing it down and you're listening for things. And we've cut a lot on those things. Cemetery. We've had music at the cemetery. I love cemeteries. I'm still like, I like dead people. I like dead things. I like dark.
Well, and that's where, when we were at the 9 Mile Bridge, that's where we found out about Esther.
We had the dead chick live with us for a year and a half. And that's okay. I don't want to do that again. That's another subject. That's another subject to talk about. We'll talk about bringing home things and playing with them. I have a witch sister, because I'm very public about what I do on my page, and I'm considered I don't know what they call it now, a baneful witch. I do left and right hand work, and so does she. And we do energy work with people, and she's always like, the minute I pull something, she'll start yelling at me. Let it go, Julie. Let it go. You can't keep and play. We're catch and release. We're catch and release. Because I got little jars full of all kinds of things and bottles full of all kinds of things in my house. So I'm trying to learn to let it go and not play with my food. That's another whole thing.
Yep.
I was going to go someplace with that. Where was I going to go? Energy.
attachments, making sure that's where we're talking about.
We got to have a whole session on things like catch and release and move on, and living with dead things that come in. Mirrors. Mirrors. That was one of the last things I was going to bring up, was scrying the 1858 Garnett House. We did a social experiment. Well, not social. Well, it was social. There were 7 of us or 6 of us. And we did 456 hertz
and 458
7 minutes apiece. It was timed. We had a red lit candle on a mantle, and we had the Conjuring House mirror, the actual Conjuring House, not the movie, not the movie one, but the actual Conjuring House possessed mirror was in front of us, and we had a Las Vegas mirror that was used in Conjuring by teenagers behind us. So the theory is when you have a mirror in front and a mirror in back, it's an entrapment for the energy. So it's bouncing. So whatever's in mirror one, which is in front of you, feeds off of what's in, and it opens a portal. So you've now opened the portal for anything and everything to come back and forth, and you're the conduit in the middle. So you're extremely drained. And what was interesting is 456 is very grounding, and it's very tunneling. So you don't have that loose
focused.
It's focused. Yeah, it's a good word for it.
It's
focused.
Very focused sound.
So you don't have the shit bouncing from anything else that's in the house.
You can feel it penetrating.
And it's a tone. It's not music. So you don't get the enjoyment of some good tunes. It is
like a
straight out
yep,
in your ear.
Constant.
And, the idea is I don't know how everybody else did it, but I like lean forward and get as close to the mirror as I can. And you don't blink for as long, but then you catch yourself blinking.
Because my eyes are watering.
And a lot of people had the same, like everybody melted. Everybody saw things come at them.
Well, for me, it was the third eye thing, because you're looking and you're watching and you're looking at it. And then all of a sudden there was like a little third eye thing there going on. And then it just kind of got weird after that, where at one point it looked like my body was there, but my head was gone, and I could see the bookshelf behind me kind of thing.
Which there's a mirror between the book, like you could still see it, but it was like a bookshelf with a mirror in front, but the mirror disappeared. Both the mirrors disappeared.
Yeah.
And several people lost their heads.
Yeah, I was one of them. Had the third eye. I think everybody had third eye. I don't know if you. I don't think you did.
I became an eye. Like it was, the whole thing was an eye, and I went into the eye because I know you go into the flame, right? You burn yours. That's what I do. And pulled back something. So there's a creeper dude there that he is known for, like, he's called the Grinner or something like that, and he's got the big. So I kept describing, my face went into the Insidious, but white painted Insidious, and then it went into melting, and then I started bleeding, and then I went into a very Japanese, very 70s. Yeah, it was very trippy. I did not do drugs in the 70s. Didn't really do drugs until the last 3 years. So I can't tell you what other people had in the 70s, but the whole Japanese thing came through. And I really do believe I contacted an Ona, which is a Japanese grief spirit, which would make sense with the whole Conjuring house and the white paint and everything. But she came through, and she came through as a walker, like The Ring, that's based on an Ona, the movie The Ring, with the hair down because they don't want to show your eyes. But I saw the eyes. My eye went completely gone. It was a bloody hole, and the blood started running, and that was the entrance point. So I brought that home. I'm not really sure if I'm dealing with that still. Like, I don't know where she went. She's ruined a couple of trips for me, and she's like popped in here and there, and she's handed me pieces of paper in my sleep that have Japanese symbols. So I'm just letting her roam to see what happens. But we did it at 456, and we did it at 458. And 458 was just like,
it was different for me.
It was so much more intense, like focused. It was a whole.
See, it was the opposite for me. At 458, when it happened, I didn't have the third eye that I thought I saw. It was really, it seemed like there was a third eye there, but this time it wasn't. And like on the first one, as we're doing it, and you're looking in the mirror and you're staying focused and keeping your eyes open, your face shifted into what looked like other people. It wasn't me looking back. It was somebody else.
And another guy explained that too. He said he was multiple people.
Yeah, it was like you might be a lady, or you might be a dude, or you might be a young person or an old person. You're like, that is weird. And that was very focused, and it was very detailed. I could see the details. Now, at the 458, I didn't have the third eye, but everything was distorted for me. Like,
now, I melted more. I completely. She can read them. Send the symbols to Irene. I can't redraw them, Nancy. They come when I'm in an altered state, or I say altered state, or I'm sleeping, and I know that it's like a rectangle. It's not a square. It's not a perfect square. It's more of a rectangle. And there's the left side. This is my left hand.
Mm-hmm.
The left. Yeah.
Didn't you draw something out with
Yeah,
it?
kind of like, and then it kind of went down, and it looks like this one symbol, but there was something in the middle, and I'm missing the middle, and that makes the difference in like 100 different words, and I can't. And I seriously did a trip to go down that hole and find out what it was that she was handing to me. And this Ona walked into my trip and blocked my trip and handed me a piece of paper. And when I came out of it, it was gone. Like, I can't see it. I'm not a visual person, so I have troubles visualizing. And the message has been gone every time. But I know she's a grief spirit, because the more I connect with her, the more I find myself grieving and have no idea why I'm grieving. Like, I just feel her sadness. And there's a message that definitely has to be given, and I'll move her on when I figure it out. It's not that I'm keeping something that's dark or evil and want her to play, but I feel like she's really got a message for me, and I need to figure out what that message is, and I can't figure out what it is for the life of me. I wish she would like burn it into my third eye or something, so I'd like, or have me like scroll it, like, because if I'm awake when I'm doing it, and maybe that's what I need to do. I just said that out loud. Maybe I need to do some drawings and some writing, automatic writing, while I'm under the influence, so I can draw it out while I'm under
your AI program to
do that.
Draw it out, like you can dictate.
Yeah,
scene to
yeah,
it.
because Chat GPT is wonderful. Like, hey, perceived paranormal East Coast. Hey, how are you guys? Lots of love there. Thanks for joining us. You missed out on a whole lot of dialogue. and
we got dialogue.
And made, because you know it is the Spiritual Speakeasy, where the bar's always open and the spirits are always served. Well, Chris is looking up something. I was gonna say something. Rock Island Paracon is coming up October 4th. We're so blessed to be a part of that. I am speaking on anime and demonology and spirituality. Yay, my big thing. Ooh, no, don't stream. No, don't remove. We're not going to do that. Sorry, I'm getting messages that we're having trouble streaming to Facebook. Sorry, go to YouTube. It's always good on YouTube. So anime is my thing. We love anime. I have a 28, not 20. How old is he? 35. Shit. I have to stop and think of 28. 35-year-old son who's into anime, grew up with anime. And so I'm into anime now. And Chris and I watch anime and started seeing a whole lot of continuity.
Parallel things to what we do and see.
Oh my God, yes. Every day, like the clients I work with and the stories that we have and the spirits we contact, it's all in anime, Japanese and Korean, which is Buddhist, Taoist, and India-based, Indian, not Native American, Indian-based religions. And so I started speaking on that and have found the symbolism. And so I have a knowledge now of Japanese and Korean demons and things like that, because they base all that on Buddhism. And if you watch the shows, when they're standing at doorways and they've got their little guns and their swords and shit, they're doing the symbolic Taoist and Buddhist symbols to lock doors. I've learned so much from that. So anyway, Rock Island Paracon is coming up. It's going to be an amazing time. I'm not sure there's investigational tickets yet. We are going to be doing the investigation with Get Haunted and the people that are there. The Warrens Occult Museum is going to be there. No, the museum itself was not sold. It's kind of on rent for 5 years, and then they get to see what they're going to do with it. But it's coming, and Annabelle will be coming. And don't get me involved in the politics. Is Annabelle real or is she not? It doesn't matter. It's super fucking cool to see. Like, you want to go see the Shadow Doll. The Shadow Doll is my doll.
They have a lot of objects that are very cool to see.
They have a double, a satanic worshiping tool god sculpture that was on a mountain that's Satan, and the energy is fucking amazing with that. So buy your tickets. Oh, that's funny. Irene is my friend in Japan. Her daughter is huge into anime. I love anime, and I love Japan. I had a higher conscious meditation thingy done, hypnosis. I'm gonna get killed for this. QHHRT, quantum hypnotic higher conscious stuff that starts with a T. And one of my lives was in Japan, and I related a whole lot of stuff to that. And Japan is just someplace I've wanted to go.
Well, here lately, that's been coming up in readings and things that you've been doing with your shop.
Yeah. Well, in pictures, smoke pictures. So if you get on my page and my TikTok, maybe I haven't released that yet, but coming up, you're going to want to like smash that follow and subscribe, because I've got smoke pictures of Japanese masks and things coming through our closets, and like all kinds of things that I think are following me. I'm okay, but I'm kind of like, oh, well, will Matt be there? Well, Matt who? But I'm not following your comment. Help me out here. Matt, my son. Yeah, well, he's been in most of my lifetimes. He's killed me and he's saved me, and we've talked about that, but I don't know if that's your Matt or my Matt. So I'm curious now. Type. But we've got that coming up. We have Blondes and Booze coming up in September. Blondes and Booze in Richmond. Well, I'm staying in Richmond, Missouri. I don't know the town. I should know my towns, but it's like really close there. Oh, Matt Rife. Oh, God, I wish. I would love to meet him, the comedian that bought.
Oh, okay.
He may be. Like, I have no clue what his schedule is. I know the Warrens Museum is coming through. It's coming through with Nespar, who still owns the museum items. So to clarify, the building, the house was bought. The museum building was bought. The objects are not owned by Matt Rife. The objects are owned by still Tony Spera and his wife. And so they have that for the next 5 years to tour around and do what it is they're going to do. And then they renegotiate that. So they still own that. Hi, Jim. My dolls are doing great. Without knocking over my
look
wine.
Kenny's over there with them.
See if I can turn. There's my 3 dolls. And you see my cat. My cat lays under the dolls. And he started. Oh, so we took my possessed doll on tour to Paranormal Rock down at Broadmoor Mansion in
Michigan.
Was it Michigan?
Or not Michigan. I mean, Wisconsin.
I'm
Michigan.
like,
Wisconsin.
Wisconsin.
Yeah.
And she didn't behave super well, and she entranced somebody horribly to buy her shit, and they did, and she like manipulated this lady for 3 hours, and it was a whole thing. So she's on lockdown, but she's been dropping things, and Kenny the cat, who was underneath the dolls that you just saw, has been sleeping in her lap. It's a really small cubicle that she sits in, locked down with iron and blessed salt and holy water and rituals and prayer cards. And
well, that was interesting. He
goes and sits on her lap and then sleeps and blurps. So I think she's talking to him half the time, but my blink doesn't catch it.
Yeah.
So
well, it was interesting how when you were doing the experimentation where we were running the app, the necrophonic app with the MCOM. And
Katie Stafford's MCOM.
Yeah, and the cat came in, and this is always with the dolls, and then you hear on the app starting of meow, whatever it was, and then it went into the MCOM, which it continued on through. So it went from an app on a phone to the MCOM, and it was loud enough.
And none of them have sounds like that built in them. They're not supposed to have swear words, and they're not supposed to have sounds. And I elicit poor fuck you bitch, and then we get the and meows all the time. So,
Yeah.
but they talk. So she really likes Kenny, and Kenny really likes her. So he sleeps under the dog.
He's kind of a trigger object for those things. I think
they like him. But then he also has his moods because he's a Maine Coon, and he'll walk over to him and just
bop him.
And I don't know whether they may be saying something to him that like, bad kitty or I hate you, and he just don't care, and the doll baby will go tumbling down on the couch. But they're active. My newest, before we go, hang on. I got to show my newest thing. Shout out to Shade Nelson, he's in Arkansas, right?
Yes.
And he is an oddities collector.
Oddities collector, yep.
And
he's got some interesting things.
Interesting word, procurement. So this is my newest thing. It's an 1850s or older last rite / exorcism kit. I don't want to drop the lid.
I got the lid.
So this is the base, and it's got the incense dish. A lot of people don't know what that is, but that's where you put your 3 kings incense, and it's got the little scoop that you put in the firing pot. That's not the word for it. The thing that crucible. I can't think of what it's called.
The swing and chain thing.
The swing and chain thing. And then it's got the cross that goes into the stand. So it'd look like that. And then it has the plate for the Holy Communion. And it has this part goes, so really I think it goes like this. And then this goes here. And then
but
this.
You would turn it around.
And then it goes, oh yeah, I got it backwards. My bad.
You can't do that.
No. Okay. That'd be the Antichrist. Kind of. It'd be like this. So you've got your candles, and you put your holy water in this dish right here.
Make your offering there.
And yeah, so you can splash your holy water. And then you've got the communion plate, which traditionally can go underneath or to the right of that. And then you've got your candles. And so that was and it's in a really nice wooden box. And of course, purple, because purple is the celebration of life. It's a whole celebration thing. So that's been my most recent macabre type purchase. And I have some 1800s silk from Japan that's been hand embroidered with birds and flowers, which is amazing. It's a piece of silk, like a couple feet long. And I have a Japanese Ona, I forgot what they call it, a spirit offering where they would set their familial pictures in the spirits. And it's in white. And so it's the whole offering where you put your sake in the cups and you do your thing like that. Your eyes, my eyes, they're burning. Because I'm exercising you. Good morning, Damien. Oh, I'm so glad that you joined. It's been so long. Thank you so much. Nancy says, Matt Rife says, Stitch, how are your dolls doing? They're doing good. We talked about that. Your eyes are burning. And so I bought that, and I have a 21-inch opium pipe, hand carved, coming. It is beautiful.
There's no opium in it.
I don't know. It's been,
you never know if it's
been used. It's been used. Not into opioids. They spin, and I projectile vomit like The Exorcist. We don't do opioids, but that's really cool. And then I bought something else. Shit, it's got it's the opium pipe and the Onus spirit thing, altar, if you will.
It's got the bowls and the
it's Japanese. It's absolutely gorgeous. Your band is over a long story. There's always a long story with me. There's that story, and then there's the other story. I was going to try to see if I can pull up a picture. I don't know how to put pictures on my shit, so I have to do it this way. Hang on.
Didn't he also have a skeleton?
He does. He has a couple $1,000 human skeleton that is super cool.
Was it one of the Odd Fellows or something like that?
Yeah, I think
one of those
I think
type
it
of
was.
places?
It's really neat. Why can I not pull up? Oh my God, look at that. It doesn't want me to show. Look.
What is it?
It's blank. My pictures are blank. My conversation with Shade is gone. Like, it's gone. Shade. That is so weird. I was going to show everybody. Anyway, the altar system is super, super cool. It's white ceramic with the dishes, the bowls for the sake, and then the sake canister, and then the spirit where you can put ashes or you can put, and then there's an offering plate for the fruit.
Then you got the cloth or the silk.
The silk. Now the spirit altar is not. It's new. It's not been used.
Ancient
it's not ancient or anything like that. $40 was a steal, and he just happened to get it like the day that I said I needed something for my Ona. But then the silk has been rolled, and it's old silk. It's hand woven, hand sewn, hand stitched birds, little hummingbird type things, and flowers. Beautiful. And it's Japanese silk, which just is amazing to me. And then my opium pipe, which is solid wood and hand carved. So I'll have to definitely, but shout out to Shade, because Shade he gets me the shit. Like, I say I need an exorcism kit and it pops up. Like, he gets it.
Yep.
Theodora, you missed that. My cat is sitting on Theodora's lap off and on.
He's up now.
He's watching out the front door, but he is currently sitting with my other 3 dolls. You get to see my messy family. Kenny, why is your mouth hanging open? Oh, you gonna get up and show everybody? Are those your doll babies? Yeah, you gonna come over and see?
We should be running the MCOM right about now.
We should be. He meows. He goes and he sits on Theodora's lap, and he come here. Oh, come here. Oh, come here. Okay. He doesn't want to come here.
He'll come here when
he wants to. He's like, I don't want to be part of your fucking podcast. Fuck you. Come up here and say hi to everybody.
They don't want to.
Come here. I feel like it's Ozzy Osbourne's
flying for him to stack my eyeball.
But he sits in Theodora's lap. They like each other. Poor Theodora, she's banished to the other room where she's locked down with iron and stuff. Okay, go. But anybody have any questions? This was kind of a weird podcast night. Everybody's right now, it's going into September, so he's a cat at his pleasure. Yeah. He rules the house. We don't. He gets us up at 3 and 4.
We are guests in his place. Yeah.
He works my shop and he works everything. But right now is there's a whole lot of cons out there, Paracons, Comic-Cons, metaphysical cons. So people who have signed up like to talk, they're like super busy right now. So
cancellations.
Lots of cancellations. I got a 12-week.
2.5 week old.
Oh, is that what that says? 2.5 week old kitten, Sassy, and Sage, both brothers. My legs look like acupuncture. Oh my God. Yeah. Kenny's the first cat that I've had that I've never had declawed. And I had a Bengal that was not supposed to be declawed that was declawed, and I will never declaw a cat again. And he has shredded some really important things. I'm just going to say, like 20-pound weighted blankets and different things. But
ways to it.
Yep. And he kills furniture, but he's a hot mess, but he brings toys. He has a stick with feathers.
He brings wonderful gifts
all night long. With blood moon on the 7th, have you noticed a shift in cosmic energies? Awesome question, Damien. So I don't know what it's like where you live, but here in the States, there has been a shift that has been, to me, a very severe shift. We had a dark moon last Thursday or Friday, Black Moon Friday maybe. And Saturday, me and my witchy sisters got together and we did a whole dumping. And, you know, I talk openly about I do baneful work, and so do they. And we threw some people in the pot. Like, we had some things we had to take care of and annihilate. And we annihilated that shit, and things blew up in everybody's face, which I think is just a consequence of doing that kind of work. Like, you have to accept the good and the bad, and there's always a cosmic riffle.
Yep.
Riffle. But I think my client, is that what it was? I don't know, but people are off. I'm telling you, people have dumped, they have unloaded, they have released, or they have entered into more conflict. It has been the most fucking chaotic energy week that I've had in a long time. Jim, I hear you're working with KD. Yeah, Chris and I are working with Paranormal Task Force. He missed the investigation Friday because it was a spur of the moment notice thing for me. And he had a higher conscious hypnosis, quantum
leap into the unknown.
Yeah, quantum higher QHHRT or something. I don't know. I'm terrible with
hypnosis.
It's a hypnosis thing that talks to your higher conscious. And so he had like a 7-8 hour session with that. And then I had a dog with diarrhea.
So I stayed home.
So he stayed home. What grounding work do you suggest for balance? Dude, a partner that grounds you, because no matter what, it comes down to somebody that grounds me. Salt bath, salt. I'm not a nature freak. I get eaten up by mosquitoes. Hug a tree is great until you walk out in the grass and your legs are covered with chiggers.
Essential oil, bless.
Yeah, I do a lot of rosemary, frankincense, and cedar. A lot of those three together, and I put them in the palm of my hands. I don't work with sage. People can get into and comment all they want about, what's the new thing? Take them from what is that shit called? Appropriation. I started to say procreation.
Yeah, people.
I don't think white sage or sage is that. DM me if you got a problem. Fuck you. I don't care.
I mean, if it works,
whatever.
For you,
it's being grown by the Native Americans and sold to the population. So there you go. I don't like sage. My demons don't like sage, and I'm a balance. So I'm just going to say that palo is really nice for me. I use resin. I don't use just pure incense sticks. I won't use incense. Everything I use is resin sticks. I need to try a trio of I've got in my house. Okay, so if your kittens if they grow up used to it, if you Google Three Kings, which is frankincense, myrrh, and benzoin, you're going to find out it is toxic to cats and dogs. I have a 15-year-old cat and I have a 2-year-old cat, and I have 2 dogs, and I've been doing this forever. I don't open windows. My house is smoked every single day with that shit, and nobody's ever had any problem with it. Now, Kenny sometimes throws up because he eats the resin, which probably is not the best, but he's a cat, so he's going to get in places he's not supposed to. I make sprays and I cook my sprays, and half the stuff that's in my sprays are toxic to animals, and all my animals seem to do really well and calm down with it. I'm not going to be responsible for this comment, but I truly believe, and through my investigations and through my, what's the word I'm looking for?
Experiences?
Ceremonies.
Oh, okay.
Initiations.
Mm-hmm.
You're told that when spirit comes in and spirit needs something, things do not react in a defensive mode. So, like, people will say, I can't eat chicken, or I'm a vegetarian. And then all of a sudden and this is going to sound absolutely terrible, but you're cutting the head off a chicken and you're, forced to ingest or be sprayed by the blood. There is no consequence physically for that. I'm alert. I am a severe reactive asthmatic, severe reactive. but I can shotgun cigars. And if I need to smoke a cigar for a spirit, I have absolutely no issue smoking it. I can drink 21 ghost pepper spiced rum when I'm working with one of my spirits, but most humans can't even come near the smell of that. But when I'm
channeling
it, when I'm working with that spirit and he says drink it, I will put a bottle up that's 5 years old and probably fucking molded and toss it back and have it's not hot. There's no consequences. So I think that which is done with the spirit intention and spirit manifestation and your channeling is done differently. My spirits tell me to use this incense. It's 3 Kings. It's a higher incense, frankincense, myrrh, and benzoin. I do when I go to clients' houses, I open up windows because they're not used to the environment that my pets are used to. My pets go and jump over the altar. Like I've got fireplace guards in front of my altar so I can burn candles because Kenny would go up and fluff like his tail he hits candles. And
he'd drag it around the house.
Yeah, he would light the whole house up. And I have all kinds of guards up like that. And he still gets into the shit and nothing happens. And I think that's spirit. That's the difference. Yeah, and if you DM me, Damien, if you have any questions, DM me because I do answer my DMs and texts. Questions, comments. I have 6 laughing. I wonder who's like. I wonder. I can't tap into this shit. I haven't figured out the electronics. Thank you for you're very welcome. We all got to work together. We're all on the same playing field.
Yeah. Well, like it gets into the Florida water and all that kind of stuff.
I make my own Florida water because I have prison experience and not that I've been locked down. But I was locked down with the inmates. But electroshave without alcohol smells just like Florida water. And it's nasty for me. So like I make my own Florida water. I make my own clearing spray. I make my own everything because I don't like commercial shit. I want to know what's in it. And I use food grade essential oils because I, again, want to know what's in it. And real tobacco oil. Tobacco is my staple. So Damien, that might be something you think about too, like high quality cigars. Like for me, the spirits, because if you run into places where there's been, slave houses, or you run into places where there's been
brothels,
bars, any of the places that have negative energy, even your elementals, tobacco is an offering, and you can always smoke it with them, or you can unroll it and leave it with them. Mm-hmm. If you get high grade tobacco
someplace as an offering, or
and I use like one of the things that I do is I always carry water, and it's water that I would drink, not water that tap water because that's gross, but water that I would drink. And you can use like dissolvable bioenvironmental tea bags that will dissolve. So for people who are environmental that don't want to leave something behind in a bag, you can put dissolvable tea bags. And Virginia smokes with hemp papers. Okay, so that's great. And tobacco works with elementals. It works with dark things. It works with light things. It works with everything. I've not found anything tobacco hasn't worked with.
You could soak it in water and make it as a
paste.
You could
a paste or spray. A spray. And I soak my leftover tobacco, my cigars. Like I repurpose them. I'll unroll them and I bought a pouch of tobacco for my backyard. It's awesome.
Native Americans like that.
Singing bowls. Oh, they are safe for dark energy. But if you're bringing in really dark energy, it gets really irritated with the higher level singing bowls.
That's what we were talking about.
Crystals,
frequencies.
So crystals are okay. The crystal bowls, if you stay under, I would say under 500, like stay at the root chakra level, you're going to be fine with. If you want to deal with the dark energies, unless you're calling them out to irritate them and provoke, like if you want to just talk to them and commune with them, I would stay under 500. If you're trying to provoke them to come up and you want to eliminate, then over 500. Root chakras, sacral chakras, 400-ish, under 500. I don't like singing bowls.
Yeah.
I don't mind the low singing bowls, and I get into the droning voices
into the
in the
tone
dark.
generators at that.
Yeah, tone generators are good. They irritate the hell out of me. I've never used bowls, but looking at other methods of communication. So to the Tibetan singing bowls, people will bring them out. If you're dark energy, I don't like
tuning
them.
forks. I think would.
Tuning forks don't bother me near as much as the Tibetan singing bowls.
I'm gonna get the dogs.
Yeah, get the dogs. They're barking nonstop. I like darker, lower vibe, lower frequency in music. I have also found that putting headsets in while I'm doing investigations where I vibe lower, but I'm not putting it out there for other things, works really well for me. Bands like, and I'm just going to throw out some band names. I don't think it's a violation. Like bands like Corpse or Corpse Husband. I like that kind of music when I'm into the dark. So if I know I'm going into a quote unquote demonic place or a dark energy place, I might put in a headset with one ear in so that I'm vibing. It drops me down from up here to boom. So I'm now able to see and open doors. Now, if you're not used to that shit, don't do it. This is not a recommendation to play with that. Don't do it if you can't handle it. But you got a Ouija boards tattooed on your arm, so you can do it. I'm sure you're going to be fine vibing at that
Used
level.
to opening things up. Here,
yeah. That's a way to go in and find the dark shit if you're looking for dark shit, is knock your vibe down with that. Music is great for, that's how I and my witchy sister, we locate energy in people, is we'll kick some shit on that's really dark metal or dark music, and it'll pop up, it'll come up, and you can feel it vibrating with the music, and you can grab it.
Well, then
because it can't resist it. It can't. It's like
it's getting into the drumming stuff, you know.
Yeah, the lower tone drums. I have handmade. Blue Dog
Native Americans. And
excellent handmade drums, and they ship. Looking for other methods of communication. Yeah. So sound. Tonal sound, binaural sound, like if you're working with people, binaural headsets or binaural beats type music, and go to the lower root or grounding chakra tones. Don't go to the upper vibe, because upper vibe brings upper vibe. If you're looking for the lower shit, you go low. Take the dive with them. Opening doorways, like I don't know what's legal in where you live or not. It's more tuned into dreams and heavy at the moment, and wanted to clarify or bring it up more. Yeah, like, if you can do shrooms there, shrooms will open up the doors. If you can handle the upper and lower, it'll open up the door.
What about those sound things that you can buy, those apps that have the certain frequency sounds, like a white noise or brown noise?
Yeah, white noise will open up communication, but you're way past the white noise. I would do, like, for you, binaural beats. Your Spotify playlists, you can program for low frequency. And then there's tonal sounds. There's an app for tonal sounds. Those are nice. I don't like them. They drive me crazy, but they work really well. Like that 450. They penetrate. Like you'll get a headache, and you'll be exhausted.
Sound. It's just a constant tone.
And you don't have to turn it up. Like they did that for our experiment, but after researching that, I was told you can keep it low, and as long as it's on, you don't even have to hear it. Like you can feel the buzz. EMFs will do the same thing, although that's very chaotic, so you have no control over that. Drum beats, metronomes. If you can if you have a tuning metronome that you can tune to a frequency of sound, the click or the
time signature.
Yeah. Those things are awesome because you get into a hypnotic state.
Yeah.
Katie Stafford, get on his page. He makes some really neat helmets. you would be really good with the God or ghost contact helmets that have the pulsating red light that works on your neurons that distract, and you go into different dimensions. Same plane, different
almost
dimensions.
like rabbit eye movement stuff.
Yeah, you're getting into some quantum stuff. Yeah. There's a lot of technology out there that infrasound. Infrasound is a big thing now, where you're there's certain sounds and certain tones that work on your eyes, and you want them. Like I learned Friday night, and I can't tell you what it's called. It's an infrasound technique that's a sub hearing for humans, but it pulses and you don't hear it that it's on, but your eyes and your mouth will become super dry. And with the ocular movements and your eyes becoming dry, it does something to your vision, and it starts shifting, and you go into another. The theory is that we focus with the brain, with the moisture and the conduit to receive certain information. And if you change the way your eyes input things, it changes what you see. So by drying out your eyes and having the eye movement and the frequency, you actually can shift dimensions or shift that plane. I may not be explaining that perfectly,
well,
but
I mean,
it's all with eye movement and pupil dilation and tricking your mind to open up, where probably what drugs and other things do, chemicals do, without having to do that input.
Yeah, so I mean, the whole tonal thing where you're getting in, if you look in, Damien, on the tonal side of it, they have different frequencies. Same thing with the tuning forks, and each one will do a separate thing specifically for your, I guess you would say, chakra or body or whatever tone.
Yeah. I like to work with the root. Like, to me, if your root chakra isn't open, your third eye and your crown chakra isn't open, but that's me. Nancy, thank you so much. Come back and see us next week. Gonna have a good show next week. We just like this. Yeah. It's what it is.
When I'm on, it's gonna be a bad one. I mean,
no, it's not bad. We just do our thing in between. It's like, okay, guest canceled. Let's go. We're gonna do this. I'm not gonna run a rerun. We're just gonna bullshit and drink and show you what we got, and it's what it is. And it's just what it is. Yeah. If our guest cancels this next week because of shows, we're gonna bring dolls on. We'll bring the dolls on. So come back and see us, and probably some haunted equipment too, because I've got some really cool shit. But yeah. Any other questions before we go? God, you guys have been great tonight. We so appreciate the questions and the comments.
Good to see all the people.
Yeah, it makes my heart full. Like I love doing this, and I love connecting with my metaphysical family and paranormal families, and Kenny the cat, who didn't want to be a podcast host tonight.
Yeah, he's usually all up on it.
Kenny's very antisocial though, but his stick is here with the dog toy, and Mika would get on if she could. We should show Mika. She was the one barking. Let's see if I can get her. Oh, look, there we are. Look. Hi, baby. You gonna come see us? There's Mika. We missed you too, Damien. We missed you a lot. Like, I'm always like, where's Damien? I see him pop up on. I watch you. I see you on other people's podcasts. You got to come on mine. You're going to have to pick a time. I know it's really early. We can pre-record, though. We need to get you on my podcast. For sure. We'll pre-record because cool. I know like he's getting up and going to work right now.
You could show us what you got.
Yeah, I'd be very interested in that. DM me. We'll get together. And Nancy, too. There's a lot of people that I'd like to talk to. But thank you guys so much for being part of the Paranormal Society, the whole family, because we are family at Red Bull. Shut up. We've talked about that. The Spiritual Speakeasy, Supernatural Inc., Paranormal Task Force, Raven Eye Paranormal.
There's a lot of stuff there.
A lot of mead. Yay, mead. Shh. Mika wants to be on the pod. We appreciate you guys being family, and hit that smash follow and subscribe button because we need it. Send us stars, not necessarily tonight. I get it. But when you're watching and you like something and we do lives, send us stars so we can continue to investigate. it helps pay the cost of trips and gas mileage and hotels, which, you know, as you guys as investigators know, it fucking gets expensive because we do all this shit out of our pocket. We love you guys. Thanks for following. Thanks for watching us tonight. Really appreciate you guys. Have a great next week. It's going to get a little rocky. There's going to be some planetary shit. There's going to be some meteor showers.
Ground.
Hug a tree, drink some water, put some salt in your water. That's always good. We love you. Stay safe. Take it easy, guys. See you next week.